A new Clash Royale update is supposed to be coming really soon. We should expect this update around the end of March and the beginning of April, which really only gives us a couple of weeks until this update happens. So in this video, I'm going to go over all of my predictions for what's going to come in this update. And also, after I go over my update predictions, I'm going to be going over my balance change predictions as well, because we're going to be getting some of those along with this update. And at the very end of this video, I'm going to be going over some of your update ideas that you guys put in my recent community post. So anyway, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Now let's go ahead and get started. Also, a quick disclaimer. Keep in mind that none of this information is official and that all of this is just purely predictions and speculation on my end. And also, even though I am an official Supercell creator, they have not given me any information about this update prior to me making this video, so I really don't know anything about this update. Just thought I'd let you guys know that. So first things first is that I don't think this is going to be a big update at all. In fact, Clash Royale themselves have pretty much confirmed that this is going to be the smallest update of 2022. They've said that while working on this update, it's more so in preparation for the next updates later this year. So this update's going to be relatively small, but the next updates after this are going to be pretty big, it seems, which is cool, something to look forward to. So with that being the case, you shouldn't expect anything like a new gameplay mechanic like tower abilities. I don't think we should expect any new champions or any new cards for this update, or like some other completely game-changing feature such as like a rework to matchmaking. I just think all those things are too massive for what Clash Royale has said this update is going to be. But anyway, I think that the major focus for this update is going to be economy improvements within the game. The economics of Clash Royale have been imbalanced pretty much for the entire 6 years that the game has been out, and I think that they want to dedicate this update to fixing that, or at least improving it a great deal. Basically, the issue with the economy in Clash Royale is that it's relatively easy to get cards, but then getting the gold to actually upgrade those cards is much harder. So overall, I think that this update will be centered around fixing that aspect of the game. Clash Royale has even stated that one of their primary goals for 2022 is to balance the ratio of golden cards, so that way it overall makes it easier to progress. And if you're wondering where I found that, that comes from the Clash Royale subreddit and their official Q&A, where they did a Q&A with the community. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below if you want to read the full details of that. So how do I think they'll fix the imbalance of golden cards? I have a few ideas. I think the first major step towards that is a slight rework to how chests work. Chests in Clash Royale have remained the same for the most part, with a few little tweaks here and there, but I expect there to be a significant overhaul in the distribution of items within the chests. And the main thing being, I expect there to be a significant gold increase for every chest in the game. And for those chests that don't have any gold at all, such as like an epic chest or legendary chest, I expect them to add gold to those chests as well, so that way they provide more value. And maybe along with adding more gold to the chest, they'll also add a higher chance of getting rare cards, especially from smaller chests like silver and gold chests. I think that would be pretty cool. And along with more gold in chests, I expect them to put more gold in other places in the game as well. One of the major places they can do that is in the trophy road. There are spots in the trophy road, as you can see right here, where you can get gold, but the amounts are fairly minuscule, so they could definitely increase the amount of gold you can get from these spots. Or they could just add more spots where you could get gold down the trophy road. Heck, that's cool as well. They could also add more battle gold. You know how when you win a game, you get a chest and then also some gold along with that? That's what I'm talking about. The amount of gold you get is so small that it really doesn't help at all. It's like 50, which sucks. So maybe just increasing that a little bit will help out. A little bit would go a long way in that situation. Also, you could put more gold in clan wars. I know not so many people are fond of clan wars, but I already think it's one of the better ways to earn gold in Clash Royale. Like for example, if you do a duel, that's 3,500 gold if you win, which is a pretty good amount. So maybe buffing the gold that you get in clan war battles would give people more of an incentive to play in clan wars, which is a win-win for both the players and Clash Royale, because more people play clan wars, more people get gold. Now this part could be a long shot, but I think that they could bring back a new quest system. I know a lot of people really miss the old quest system where you could do a bunch of series of challenges and then that would give you points that would accumulate towards a really cool chest. However, I don't think this would be like the new quest system. I think the new quest system that they could implement would be something similar to what Brawl Stars has. Let me show you. So here we are in Brawl Stars, and if we go over to the Brawl Pass section, we can see how the quest system works. You know, you have different kind of quests. You have daily quests, special quests, and season-long quests. And for these quests, you get tokens, and those tokens, they go directly towards your battle pass instead of towards a cool chest or something like that. So I think this could be a really cool system that they do in Clash Royale instead of the old quest system. It would make it so that way players could get through the Pass Royale faster on both the free-to-play side and the pay-to-play side. And once you get to the end, you get to that bonus bank quicker, so that way you can get even more gold. So it helps out both pay-to-play players and free-to-play players alike. Like I said, this idea of a new quest system is a long shot, but heck, it's still a shot nonetheless. So these are just a few ways that I think Clash Royale could improve the economy. Heck, maybe they go go a completely different route and just restructure the entire thing. But with the current system that they have, I think these are some solid improvements that they could make. All right, now let's talk about some more minor changes, but would still be really helpful for the game. So the first thing that we need are fixes to the Fisherman and the Bandit. These two cards have been incredibly buggy and glitchy for a really long time. Clash Royale said they would have to wait until the next major client update to fix these two cards, and this is the next major client update. So let's get it, Clash Royale. I want the Fisherman to be fixed. So the next thing is a copy deck feature for challenges in global tournaments. So looking at challenges right here, you can see, of course, we have the deck button, but there's no option to copy this deck from your main deck slot. So it makes it incredibly more tedious as you have to just build a deck from scratch right here. This is a really simple change. We should have had this by now already. Also, just ignore that I have Expo. That was for a video, I promise. And so the last thing I expect to see is another April Fool's Day challenge. Of course, in 2021, we got that really stupid challenge with the invincible skeletons that could only be killed by spells and stuff. That was pretty fun. I love that. For the beginning of April, I expect that we get something else somewhat similar to that. That would be pretty dang cool. That's not a major change or anything at all, but it's still something that I expect to see with this update. So for my actual update predictions, that's it. Like I said, this is going to be a much smaller update, so I made my predictions to align with that. I don't think there's going to be anything major and outlandish, so I didn't put any major and outlandish predictions in here. So now, let's talk about balance changes. We are going to be using Royale API's list of cards, my favorite website for looking at Clash Royale analytics. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. So I'm going to start out with nerfs, and then we'll do the buffs later. So right off the bat, two nerfs: Skeleton King and Archer Queen. The Archer Queen, in my opinion, has been the best card that isn't a spell for a very long time, and the Skeleton King is slowly getting to that point as well. I think the Skeleton King is a little bit too tanky, so I'd like to see a decrease to his HP, and for the Archer Queen, I'd like to see a decrease to her invisibility duration, because she can do so much damage in just such a quick amount of time. I want to see both of these cards nerfed. Next up, we have the Graveyard. You know, it was fine for a while, but yet again, it's a little bit too strong now. A lot of the Graveyard's strength has to do with other cards that are popular, such as the Skeleton King, the Tombstone, the Skeleton Army, and as well as the Giant down here, but the Graveyard itself is just a really good card in this meta as well. I wonder how much it would hurt the Graveyard by decreasing the skeletons it spawns by 1 or 2. I think that would be a solid nerf, but it also could kill the card. I don't know. We're going to stick with 2. Then next up, we have the Tombstone. I just mentioned how the Graveyard is kind of better because of the Tombstone, in a way. I don't know why Clash Royale made it spawn like 2 skeletons at the same time. If you ask me, that's just way too strong. It's made Tombstone the best spawner in the entire game. Change that back to 1 skeleton, maybe increase its spawn rate as a compensation, but I think 2 skeletons at once is way too much. Maybe a nerf to the Royal Ghost. I think a really small nerf to either its damage or its HP would help it out a lot, because the Royal Ghost has become one of the better cards in Clash Royale, as you can see in comparison to the other cards in the game. So I'd like to see a slight nerf to the Royal Ghost, you know, maybe let the Dark Prince shine a little bit in its place. I'll be honest, I think the rest of the top cards are fine and don't really need any nerfs. And like, to be honest, some of these cards are just up here because of other cards, if that makes sense. For example, the Skeleton King, the Graveyard, the Tombstone, and the Skeleton Army really can all go in the same deck with each other and be incredibly effective. So if you nerf one of them, or in this case 3 of them, they're all going to naturally go down together. And it's also kind of the same in a way with the Mega Knight and the Valkyrie. Really, these two are just prominent a lot in the meta right now because of the Archer Queen, and they're both very good at countering the Archer Queen. So I think you nerf the Archer Queen, the usage rates of the Valkyrie and the Mega Knight naturally go down. It's the same thing for the Lightning spell. Lightning perfectly counters the Archer Queen, so when Archer Queen gets nerfed, the usage rates for Lightning will go down as well. Now we have the buffs and the reworks. The first buff I want is to the Mother Witch. Yeah, I said that. And also another thing about the Graveyard. Without the Mother Witch being good, it's allowed the Graveyard to get even better. So if we buff the Mother Witch as well, that'll naturally help out the Graveyard as well. So I think what you do for the Mother Witch, you buff her HP back to where it was, so that way she doesn't die to arrows and zap, and maybe nerf something else in return, like her first attack speed. I think that could balance her out pretty well and make her better than what she is right now. Then we have the Golden Knight, who they completely destroyed. He's kind of bad now. I'll be honest, I don't know how to change the Golden Knight without making him really good again. So I'm just gonna leave that one up to Supercell. You guys got it. This one might be a hot take, but I think the Giant Skeleton should be buffed. He's consistently been one of the worst cards in Clash Royale for a pretty long time now. I think giving him some damage back to his Death Bomb will make him a much more effective defensive card, which is really what he's supposed to be used for. And he's not good at that at all. I want to see the Battle Healer buff. Let's go ahead and buff her HP, okay? If you buff her, that naturally buffs Elixir Golem as well. And that just brings that whole archetype back into the meta. And that's something that we definitely want, right? Now, Elixir Golem may not be totally healthy for the game, but having it totally irrelevant, I don't think is healthy for the game either. So we need to make it just a little bit better, I think. And then for some potential reworks, I have the Mirror and the Rage spell. Supercell has actually thought of the idea of doing a Rage Spirit, and I don't know if I'd necessarily expect that for this balance changes, but if we get that, that would be pretty cool. And for the Mirror, I think what we need to do, make it so that way it mirrors the same card for the same level, for the same elixir, instead of bumping it up one level and one elixir. It'll make it so that a Mirror deck has a faster card rotation, and it also gets rid of that level 15 crap. We don't need any of that. So that is all that I have for balances. Now let's take a look at some of your guys' update ideas. All right, first are from Clash King. Realistically, new champion, balance changes, probably some quality of life changes, the standards. But I hope to see new magic items, specifically for gold, and new unique challenges. Admittedly, I want all of those things as well, but I don't think we're really going to be getting any of those. I think we're definitely going to be getting some new unique challenges. Like I said, the April Fool's challenge, I expect them to do something totally different for that. And really the rest of it, I think we're going to have to wait for all that. We're going to get balance changes, of course. We're going to get quality of life changes. But in terms of champions and magic items, I think we're going to have to wait. Improvements to chests, like how you can open multiple chests at once and then increase the slots to 5 with a new champion like Countess or Monk. A 5th chest slot is something I've never thought about. That is a very cool idea. It'll make it so that way you can house more rewards at once, you can queue more chests, and overall it's just more rewards for you to have. That's a pretty cool idea, actually. And again, for new champions, I don't think we're going to be getting any of those anytime soon, but the Countess or the Monk from Clash Mini would be really interesting in Clash Royale. Hopefully make it so that you can pick how many magic items you can use. That would be a cool change, because I know there are some people who don't want to use all of their common cards on, say, their knight at once. But I think I heard somewhere Supercell say that that's something that they probably won't be able to implement. I don't remember where I saw that or why that's the case, but I do remember seeing that somewhere. I would like that change actually, but if Supercell says they're probably not going to do it, then they're probably not going to do it. Update will contain Solar getting a code. I mean, who knows? We'll see. Nerf E-Giant. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. The Electro Giant is a good card, there's no doubt, but I don't think he's nerf worthy right now. There are plenty of ways to counter him effectively. You just got to find those and get good at them. That's all. All right. Those are some of your update ideas. And with that, that's going to be it for the video. So if you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like down below. I greatly appreciate it. And also, if you're new to the channel and you like Clash Royale content, then be sure to subscribe down below. I would greatly appreciate it. But anyway, gamers, it's SolarFury signing off. Peace out, guys. Have a nice day.